Hello my beautiful fragrance family, Dustin here, Fragrance Fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification, and I'm just going to keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that $48 and $100 range. Most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. The one I got for you today, I kind of found out one of the unusual suspects as far as a rack store goes. I found it at a Bell's Outlet, and don't really know a whole lot of information on this thing. What I do know is that it is called Iconic. And it's 15 bucks, at least at the recording of this at the beginning of 2024. So the only thing I know about this thing is what I could find on the bottom of this. I don't know if that's the right direction. I feel like, well, either way, try both ways. It's made in the Middle East, and it's at Eau de Parfum concentration. So when I see that Eau de Parfum, that's what I saw first. I was like, huh, okay, well, let me keep on digging, and I saw made in the UAE. And the atomizer on this thing, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the, it's like a spitting cobra. It's really bad. But I knew what they were going after when I smelled this thing. Let me go over some of the notes that I pick up. I can't find this thing online or anything like that. So I pick up rhubarb, almost like an apple, like a red apple thing going on with that rhubarb and like lemon. I get a lot of lavender, and I get a good amount of sweet, creamy vanilla. If any of that sounds familiar, there's also a hint of vetiver, just a hint of smooth vetiver. Not so much of the grassiness, but a little bit more of the woodiness of the vetiver itself. If any of that sounds familiar, then particularly the rhubarb note, Paco Rabanne's Phantom. I'm very familiar with that fragrance. I don't own it, but I'm quite familiar with it. Which is also Lattafa Hayati Al-Maliki. This is their take on that. So what I ended up doing was I did a side-by-side comparison with these two, going back and forth. I like this fragrance. I like it a lot. And the difference is this one is a little bit easier on the nose. I would say it's even a little bit more natural, maybe even a little bit better quality, believe it or not. Well, believe it or not, it's just Lattafa. It's like one of the cheapest fragrances, but it's a good one for the price. The Lattafa is quite crisp up top. This is a little bit juicier. This is a little bit sharper and crisper as far as like the lemon, and this I think is a little bit juicier and like smoother because I feel like there's like a red apple or something in this one. During the 15 to 20 minute part of the dry down, Lattafa almost has like some kind of a little bit of a funk, a little bit of a skank. It's not like turn you off or anything. In the air, the thing is smelling awesome, but when you get right up on it and you start like trying to diagnose it, you can smell a lot of the synthetics and stuff like that, and there's, you know, niche knobs and stuff like that. This will totally put them off, and you'll gather a bit more on that than you will on this one. About an hour into the dry down, the Lattafa for about 10 minutes. From what I experienced a few times that I tried this, for about 10 minutes, almost seems like it's going to perform a little bit better, and then it almost starts smelling better. I don't know what's going on, but there's like an hour into this thing, 10 minutes, it gets a little bit smoother, and then it goes back to that funk thing, and this starts getting creamier. This is a creamier version of the Paco Rabanne Phantom. You get that rhubarb, you get the lemon, you get a lot of lavender, and the vanilla, creamy vanilla. So overall, so far, the few times that I've tested these side by side, I kind of like this one better. I just can't stand the atomizer. The atomizer is absolutely trash. But I don't know where this thing came from. I don't know who made it. It doesn't have that typical sticker on the bottom of it like you would find in these. It doesn't have that sticker as you've seen. So it's not a Milestone, it's not a Kamara or anything like that. I don't know who's making this thing, but they did a really good job, and the performance isn't bad. I haven't given it too many complete wears outside. I have wore it several times. I'm getting 5 to 6 hours, which is decent. This is good pretty much for most occasions that are not formal, even any weather. I wouldn't say so much that this is great for the summertime in Florida, but any other thing, even in the warmer days of spring, this would be just fine. But it's a very youthful, very playful fragrance. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's got a little bit of that freshness from the citrus. Again, it's rhubarb, citrus, some kind of apple, lots of lavender, creamy vanilla, and some vetiver. A little bit of smooth, the smooth woody part of the vetiver, not so much like the grassy part of the hay, but more like the, I don't know, the brown part of the hay, if that makes any sense to you at all. So yeah, it's definitely worth looking at. Don't let the presentation fool you. If you see this one in the wild, go ahead and spray it. And what you get from the opening to the dry down is almost the same. It just loses a little bit of that crispness and just becomes a bit more creamy. It doesn't get much sweeter, it just gets a little bit creamier. And yeah, so check this one out if you see it. If anybody of you know what this is made by or who it's made from or anything, let me know in the comments. But that's my, oh yeah, definitely more youthful than it is mature. I told you the seasons. Overall rating, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Actually, I'll give it a 6.5 because I really enjoy it. It's a good fragrance and it's definitely worth picking up. So yeah, honest rating, I'll give this thing a 6.5. If you like Phantom, a lot of people don't, but if you like Phantom, check this one out. $15 version of Phantom, a really good, very inexpensive version of it. So that's my final thoughts on Iconic. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.